Hello. Happy Halloween week. It's a whole week.
I know.
Laura Kane After Dark. We have some fun Halloween festivities tonight, and that's why we're dressed up. Well, this is Eric Rimmer, by the way. I'm Laura Kane, and I'm dressed up, but I made the boys wear hats because I decided to be a leopard woman to drive them crazy because I know how much they love leopard.
This is just something that you would wear out on a normal grocery shopping trip.
I might wear this top with like jeans or something. I'm not kidding. But
really?
I even have a little tail. I have like a leopard tail. I have leopard, what do you call them? Socks on and these little ears. So Eric comes in, he goes, "Oh my God, you look so cute." I was like, "I wanted you to yell at me because I have so much leopard on, but you didn't do that."
Well,
he's preoccupied with something.
The night's still young.
I know,
things are still coming through about. You'll hear.
Oh, really? Okay. Is this your host chat?
No, not my host chat.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh.
Hollywood Report.
Okay. This show, by the way, brought to you by Sweetums Wipes. Why don't we talk about Sweetums Wipes, and then I'll tell you about the special that she's running right now.
Oh, yeah, baby.
ETUMSwipes.com for spur of the moment freshness down there. For down there care.
Absolutely. Men use them too.
Yes, they do. With flavors like cinnamon bun. Guys love that flavor.
I love the cinnamon
They
bun.
also have flavor, so they taste
Mojito.
yummy too. And mango and cherry.
And pina colada.
Yes, and now
Watermelon?
Peach. Oh, watermelon.
Yes.
Peach scented wipes now too. Go to sweetumswipes.com, developed by Dr. Elisa Brady, who we love so much, a woman-run company.
Which we totally support.
We do. That's sweetumswipes.com. Now I need to re-up my Sweetums wipes. I'm down to one wipe. I have no boxes left. So I'm going to order some. And then when you order and you put in LCAD for Laura Kane After Dark, you get 15% off your order. So that's what I'm going to do. It's the smart thing to do. And you should always have a Sweetums wipe handy.
I love their commercials too. They're so cute.
Oh, on Instagram?
Yeah.
You should follow them on Instagram too, because they do have really clever posts.
They are. They're really cute.
Yeah, I love them. I love them too. Anyway, okay. Welcome to the show. My host chat.
Hi, Lisa.
Okay, let me take a sip of my water because I have dry mouth right now for some reason. I'm like nervous. Why am I nervous?
Why are you nervous?
I don't know.
Do I make you nervous?
You kind of do sometimes.
Do I?
I don't know what it is, but
Hot diggity.
we have our favorite psychic coming on the show to talk about Halloween and spirits and ghost stories and what Halloween really is all about. And she has this event going on Halloween, the actual night that she's going to talk about too. So it's going to be super interesting. And then of course, Eric has his double D. But first, let's start with my host chat.
What is your host chat?
My headphones keep falling off.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Because of your big ears.
Because my ears, yeah. Okay, so Eric and I paid a woman who she monitors podcasts and she manages them. We paid her like $100 to look over all of our podcasts and look at our YouTube and just to see what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, because we don't know. We're just doing this thing and we're just pumping them out.
We are delights though.
I know it's just me, you, Brian.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
And we do everything ourselves. So
That's all we need for this dog and pony show.
Well, apparently we need a little bit more because we had the Zoom call today with the lady. She did the whole thing and she said, we need this one thing.
Oh, yes.
And I want you guys to help us with it. So I think we should do a contest.
I think we should too.
Now we need to figure out a prize. What could a prize be?
A lap dance from you.
Okay. No, it should be something like people are really going to want, like a iPad or something.
We'll take them to dinner.
A lap dance from Eric.
I know, for sure.
Well,
that's worth a
wouldn't
lot.
that be a treat?
Where should we take him to dinner?
I don't know. We'll think of somewhere good.
Tio Leo's?
No, we'll think of somewhere good. We'll go somewhere good.
Dinner
On
with
us.
all of us on the show. Even Brian, you're roped into this thing too. Sorry.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Dinner with us if you guys can help us come up with
A tagline.
almighty catchphrase. A catchphrase.
Oh,
She
what did
says
I
that-
call it? A tagline?
Yeah.
I mean, a catchphrase.
Kind of the same thing. She said, what is your podcast about? She listened, she knows, she thinks it's funny, she knows it's like comedy most of the time. I said, what we do is we talk about our lives. We just talk about what goes on during the week and some personal stuff, like dating stuff, this and that. We talk about celebrity gossip and we have interviews and stuff like that. So I don't know, like
Talk about skincare.
real life with Laura and Eric.
We're like a big, sexy grab bag of
Maybe
information.
that. How about that?
Well, now we can just
Laura
take
Kane
each
After
other
Dark, a big, sexy grab bag.
of information. Now we could just take each other to dinner. Done.
That's so not sexy.
I know it's not. It's too wordy. It's too wordy. Spaghetti Factory. That's where Robert wants to go if he wins dinner. Well,
okay.
Robert, come up with a
on, Robert.
catchphrase for us. We are in desperate need because she says that is really the key. Because that will kind of tell people who don't know about your podcast what it's about. And then she was saying something like nitty gritty, the nitty gritty. But I'm like, I don't know about the nitty gritty.
I'll tell you what our podcast is about.
What is it about?
It's about 45 minutes long.
But we need to like refine it.
Oh, this week with Laura and Eric.
I like that, but it needs to have some more information, more like key words, tag words. I don't know.
Sexy.
No, I don't think sexy is going to be in it
Oh.
because I don't think that's what we exude.
The Young and the Restless.
No,
Loose lips.
No. Loose lips?
Sink ships.
No.
Oh.
Think about our podcast. We're real,
Sure.
we're genuine. We like to make you laugh. We like to laugh. See, it's a blank.
Real time with the delights.
You know what? There's no bad ideas. We're brainstorming.
Doll eyes. Just two
Doll
words.
eyes and yawn boy.
Oh, yeah. Doll eyes. Oh, wow. That's a good one.
I know, but nobody knows what that means. If you're just like coming
true.
upon our podcast, they're going to be like, what does that even mean?
45 minutes with Doll eyes and Yon Boy.
I know. So I've been like racking my brain all day trying to think of a catchphrase. But then I thought, okay, why don't we put it out to you guys? Can you help us? Just like DM us or
Isn't love your podcast kind of the catchphrase?
she said, what does that mean? And I said, we
true.
say that because we've always said that for 3 years now. And it just kind of the way we sign off. And when we see people and they notice us or they recognize us, they always say, love your podcast. It's kind of like a way we connect with our listeners.
Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible one.
No,
Yeah.
but love your podcast as a catchphrase? No.
I mean, you've already had it for so long, though.
I know, but it doesn't like describe what our show's about in a nutshell, in a small phrase. This is very difficult.
Let us entertain you. Julie.
Let us entertain you.
Hi, Julie.
No,
It's got to be with something after dark.
it's got to be a little bit. Laura
Something that
Kane
ties
After
in-
Dark,
Something that ties in with being like after dark.
BFFs.
Hey, instead of afternoon delights, what about after dark delights?
No.
Oh,
It's not
You know
terrible.
what?
Fine.
It's not
Hi,
terrible.
Julie.
Not terrible. What's wrong with your microphone?
I'm trying to fix it.
Oh man.
Oh, boy.
Is our equipment is on the fritz. Shoot. What do I have to buy now? What do we have to buy now?
just the cable.
A new cable.
Just that. That's okay.
Oh, she also said that we need to build a website.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Pretty cheap, too, nowadays.
really, where?
Like $15 a month.
What?
Easy.
Yeah.
What about the initial payment to have somebody build it?
You'll go to like a big site, they'll host it, and they'll have a bunch of tools to build it for you.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not building it myself. I tried one time to do my own website, and it was hard.
You don't have to build it like crazy or anything. Like, I mean,
I
like,
can't.
it's like choose the color palette,
No.
choose an image.
I want someone to do it for me.
I can help you. It's not that hard.
Can I pay you to do it?
You don't have to pay me.
We-
I can just do it. Like,
No,
you just
we're
have to
gonna
make-
pay you.
Just have to make some graphics.
Well, we want our podcasts on there.
Mm-hmm.
We want like all our social medias on there. Our advertisers. They're
That's all really easy stuff.
okay.
I told you, he can do
there
everything.
are companies now that will like basically do it for you. You just have to tell them what to do, like through a website.
Okay. So we have the domain name, luckily,
Right.
.com.
Right.
So that's good. I already paid for that for the year. We should finally get it going. So this
Brian, I
woman,
really like how your balls are jiggling. I mean, your
All the time.
here,
I mean,
we'll
your
show them.
eyeballs. Your
This is what he looks like. This is Brian with his hat on. Hello.
and when he moves his head, they just jiggle everywhere. And they light up. So I am.
Watch me.
Hi, Michael Tyler.
Oh, hi, Mike. Okay.
There you go.
I get to wave at some people too.
You do.
That's why I put it near me today.
You do. You're so good at it.
So anyway, I thought you guys would want to know what she said about our podcast. And she said that she was laughing at the one that she watched. She thought you were particularly funny.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
She thought you were hysterical.
Oh, that's good.
Somebody else said that to me too. Who said that? Somebody else said that to me. And it was somebody who had just watched it for the first time, and they're like, "Who's that guy you're with? He's funny." I'm like,
That's
he
sweet.
has his moments.
Yeah, every once in a while. Laura Kane After Dark, the most entertaining podcast you will ever see. Live from San Diego, it's Laura and Eric After Dark.
I like that.
A little bit of a mouthful.
Should we say San Diego? I mean, we are from San Diego, but
We are.
we're worldwide. We have listeners in India
We do.
and New Zealand.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, at China.
in China. I know, it's so exciting.
Yes.
Anyway, you guys, think about it. If we pick yours, we're going to take you to dinner somewhere nice. Me, Eric, and Brian. How exciting is that?
I mean,
I hope that's a prize.
how could it not be?
Well,
Eric is
I
a
don't know.
delight.
I really am. I am a freaking delight.
Okay, so that's my host chat. I'm excited
girl,
to tell
hi.
you. I'm excited to tell you about my host chat for Thursday. It's involving one of our listeners who wants to do something insane.
What?
I'm not going to
With
tell
who?
you.
You?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, boy.
With his body. Let me just put it that way.
Oh, he's gonna get a tattoo of you.
Maybe, maybe not.
Oh, wait. Is
God,
this,
that
is
was
it, do
so
I know
predictable.
him?
We've talked about him before.
Has he been on our show?
He has, but he didn't
Yes.
speak. He didn't speak. He just posed for us.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay.
And Julie says, yes, we should say San Diego.
Life on the Daily with Laura and Eric.
Oh,
I
I like
promise
that,
it's not
Jen.
daily.
I know.
That's
Life-
pretty good.
Life bi-weekly. Well, I would say twice a week.
Bi-week.
Life twice a week with Laura and Eric. No, life on the daily with. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting
That's
there.
good. We're making progress.
Yes. So anyway, thank you guys for thinking about it. We appreciate it very much.
Yes, we do.
So what's your host chat, mister?
Last night, I went and saw Adam Lambert
Oh, where did he play?
at the Balboa Theater.
Oh, wow.
From American Idol. He's now the frontman for Queen.
Really?
Yeah.
They did that finally?
Yeah, he's been doing it since 2012.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
I didn't think they made him a permanent member.
yeah.
That's smart. That's the smartest
Yeah.
thing they could have done.
So he has got a voice. He has got a great voice. So I don't even know how to say that. I'm going to have to, how do I say this, Brian, without sounding like Judge Judy? The crowd, hi Fish Girl. The crowd, it was sold out.
Okay.
And okay, I'll say it this way. We were by far the two hottest people there.
What? That surprises me. I would
Oh.
think that like stylish, cool people would
the
go.
fact that I was the hottest person
What are you talking about? Like,
Is
what kind of people?
Everyone's just ugly.
yeah.
Was it a certain age range?
Yeah. Were they
or-
young, old?
I was shocked because everybody was old.
Oh,
Really?
I
Older
thought
than you?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
I
thought
was,
he was like
really, really surprised.
This is for a Queen cover.
I sound like such a dick.
just Adam Lambert, him
Oh.
alone,
just
solo.
him. But it was
He's cool. He's edgy. I'm surprised.
he is. And so I said to the person I was with, I said, "Do you think he came out on stage and saw all the groupies in front and wanted to turn around and just leave and
Oh
come back?"
no! Did you see the front row? Mm-hmm. Oh my god! Of course not. I mean, he has to. Hopefully, he didn't think anything bad.
I mean, I was just
I didn't
Maybe
know
he's
people
used
see
to
his
that.
tour.
Maybe he's used to seeing people that age.
maybe Julie, yeah, maybe. I mean, I was just like Linda's like duh with a hot side.
Yeah.
I was just really surprised, but the people next to us were hilarious because they knew every single lyric to every single song.
I love watching people like that
It was
at a concert that
oh,
knows
Fish Girl
every
just
song.
bought a badge. Thank you, Fish Girl.
Oh my God, that's right, badges. And you guys subscribe to our channel too, because we're thinking about having our lives only for subscribers only. I don't know when we're going to do that, but soon. So there's like a subscribe button on there too. The badge, that's so
Yes,
awesome.
I
Thank
know.
you. It makes
Thank
us feel
you.
so cool.
That's
We made
awesome.
like $7.
We're so cool.
We made $7 last week. It was so great. So fun.
But yeah, his voice was amazing. He had an interesting selection of songs.
Were they songs that you weren't hadn't heard? Were they new? Was he like giving you guys new stuff?
He did do a new song called "Crazy Mad About the Boy." It's the theme song to a documentary. And then he did some by Nine Inch Nails. He did that song
Ooh.
"F You Like an Animal,"
Oh, I love that song.
and he's got such a stunning voice, and his ballads are beautiful. And I wish I could have heard more of those. Like the costumes the get-ups were. Remember?
I bet they were great.
Well, remember when Carol Burnett did the spoof on Gone with the Wind, and she came out with the big thing that looked like she had the big curtain rod?
No, but it sounds funny.
That's what he came out like wearing.
And
Like
his
this
hair like
huge-
super high.
Yeah, it was super high, and it was full of glitter, and he had like a face full of makeup and stuff.
How late were you out?
Oh, I was out probably till like 9:30.
You left early?
No, that's what time the concert ended.
What time did it
No
start?
wonder there's only old people. That's
Like-
clearly geared towards them.
It started at like 4:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, like at 7:30 it started.
No one goes to a 7:30 p.m. concert.
And it started on time?
He was like 10 minutes late.
Well,
But his band was great. He was great.
Did you go to like the senior hour concert?
No, it was just one time. But I remember when I saw Stevie Nicks, and it was the same thing. Like there must have been 500 Stevie Nickses in the audience. Like all the women were dressed like her.
that must have been a great concert.
It was really good. She sang. It was Stevie Nicks and Sting.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I love me some Sting.
I know
My
you do.
boyfriend. His birthday was in. Hey, Rick Morton's dad, Clark, is on.
Hi, Clark.
Hi, Clark in Palm Springs. How you doing? Okay. Are you done?
Yes. All in all, it was a great evening.
We should do the Daily Dirt because our favorite
yes.
psychic in the world is here. Hi, Natalie.
You were so quiet. I didn't even hear
I know
you come
she
in.
like glided in here.
She just floated in like a little butterfly. So let's just talk about this right out of the starting gate. Kanye West
What now?
has done it again. He can't shut his mouth. So everybody has cut ties with him. Anna Wintour from Vogue, who is a big supporter of his, Balenciaga,
I saw that.
Adidas, Johnny Depp's attorney, who he hired, has cut ties with him now.
Really?
And his agency, CAA, Creative Arts Agency, has cut ties with him. He said probably one of the most inappropriate things you could ever say. He said in a tweet that he wanted to go DEFCON 3 on people of the Jewish faith, which is
Look,
horrible.
he's clearly having a mental episode.
It's-
Don't you think?
Why would you say that? That's the most
it's-
inhumane, just awful. Like,
I don't think he's in his right mind right now.
well, then he needs to go.
But when people
away.
are like that, they don't see it that way. It's
Oh,
hard to get
man.
somebody into treatment
Isn't
who
there? Well,
is
then
having
they
an
need- Oh, and then
episode.
apparently, Twitter has just reinstated him.
They probably want the,
The publicity
Of
or
course.
whatever. I mean, it's just awful. Like and there's no room for that kind of
of course not in this
horrible,
climate.
horrible.
No.
No, ever. But it's just awful. So you know what? If he loses everything, it's on him. Because it's just terrible to say things like that to people.
Yeah, it is.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think unfortunately, I think it will somewhat blow over because I think he'll at some point he'll come over and he'll say he was having an
He'll come
episode,
down.
a manic episode, which doesn't justify anything, but it does, I guess, kind of explain things.
Mm-hmm.
At least puts it in context. He'll always have, his statements will always be out there, and he'll never.
He'll no, and his kids are going to suffer from this.
Yeah.
And
I know.
the weird thing is that he calls himself, quote unquote, a Christian, and I mean that's the most un-Christian thing I can imagine.
Well, I think it started because originally I forget what he said, but a Jewish group called him out on something, and so his tweet was a response to that, which was a little disproportionate to say the least.
Yeah.
He also subscribes to a conspiracy theory that black people are actually the real Jewish race.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he thinks he can't be anti-Semitic.
Right.
Because he's actually Jewish.
Right.
But yeah, he's going crazy.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to buy Parler, the
Yeah.
alternative Twitter site. So
Yeah, I just don't. I just have a feeling he's such a narcissist that he's just not going to shut up. Like nobody's going to.
Nobody will be able to get to him.
I think he's just mentally unwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Very sad news today. Leslie Jordan, who played Beverly Leslie on Will and Grace, and he was in Sordid Lives. He's been in a ton of stuff. He was in American Horror Story. He died at 67 years old in a car crash. They think that he probably had a stroke or a heart attack.
Oh no.
And he ran into a building.
Oh no.
So yeah, it was so sad. I know I had met him years ago at a
I
play.
did an event with him once.
Oh my God, he was the nicest,
So nice.
nicest
And
person.
Funny.
Oh yeah, hilarious. And
Oh, that's terrible.
yeah, I think it was at I think the event that I was at was he wrote a autobiography called My Trip Down the Pink Carpet, and that was where I met him.
Oh, cool.
And he was just such a nice person. So yeah, our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends, and it's just awful.
Don't say
Sorry.
Come on, you can do
Oh,
it.
Julie had him on a flight, and she said he
was really funny, had so much-
and she
Oh.
had fun waiting on. Oh,
Julie, you're a flight attendant. How cool!
Kevin Spacey was found not guilty
Wow.
of the sexual charge against him, which is weird because
Aren't there many?
I think that was the main one, but I think he pleaded. He issued an apology.
Well, that's
If
not, that's not guilty. That's not a guilty plea.
Right.
Just an apology. I think there were 6 cases that came forward, but I think only 1 charges were brought against him.
Right.
Went all the way.
I think
Yeah.
the rest of them were past the statute of limitations.
Yeah, but hi Jack. But yeah, it was. So that's good. At least you can.
Jack, that's Evan's friend from school.
Hi Jack.
What are you doing watching our podcast? I love that you're watching it. Yay.
And then last thing, you know how I was talking last week about how James Corden went off on the wait staff at a
Yes.
restaurant because there was a little bit of white in his wife's egg scramble or whatever. So he was banned from the restaurant for life. He issued an apology, and the owner said, "Okay, you're welcome back." Now, apparently, allegedly, James Corden has retracted his apology.
Dumb.
So
Dumb. Can I tell you a quick story about Sting? Because somebody reminded me
Yes.
on the Instagram feed. They said, remember when you called him Stink? Okay, so in 1995, my sister Jenny and I loved Sting all through high school. Pictures of Sting. We'd make him a birthday cake every year for his birthday, which is October 2nd, and yada, yada, yada. So I had an opportunity to interview him by myself at Q106 alone, just me and Sting on a Saturday. It was crazy. I was so nervous. I was the most nervous I've ever been. I was with Jeff and Jared, but for some reason they only wanted me in there interviewing Sting. So after the interview, which was horrible, I still can't listen to it to this day.
Why?
Because there were big, long pauses. I was flubbing my words. I was nervous, and you could tell. I totally had dry mouth. It was just not good. I was crying after because I was so upset how poorly I did.
Oh, no.
Anyway, we posed for pictures after, and he put his arm around me and around my sister, and both of our shoulders smelled like onions because he stunk. Sting stinks.
Wow.
Sting stinks.
Well, I heard he doesn't bathe a lot.
Well, he probably uses that crystal thing under
Oh,
his...
those things do not work, by the way.
I know.
I remember my mom bought me one time, and I couldn't. I was at school, and I had the worst BO I've.
So
It's disgusting.
we saw him in concert that night, my sister and I, and I had an apple with me, and I was in the front row. For some reason, I handed the apple up to him at the end of the show. He took a bite of the apple and he gave it back to me, or something like that. Something with an apple. But
Do you still have the apple?
Oh my God. But that was just. And then I got to interview him again when I was 6 months pregnant.
And how did that go?
Great.
Oh, good.
It was in a back room. I was a lot more relaxed. He was, he had this candles lit. It was right before his concert started at the Copley Symphony Hall. It was awesome.
Did he smell better?
I didn't notice any stink.
Elvis is molesting our guest.
I'm sorry. Elvis, damn it. He's being
If
a
Kevin
fiend.
Spacey got off, he can too.
He's Elvis.
Okay. Let's bring on our guest.
If
Natalie
she can get
Vale.
past the guard dog.
Elvis, I will put you in the bathroom, and I'm not kidding. I will put you in the bathroom. Do not torment our guests.
Hi, Nat.
Sorry
Oh my
about
God,
that.
your hair is so long. It looks so good.
Guys.
How are you?
Sharon Bishop. Yes, that's who does my hair over on Fifth.
Oh, and you smell good.
Thank you. We're on. Okay. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello, hello. Happy to be back.
I know. Thank you so much for coming in at such late
Yeah.
notice. I thought of you today. You popped in my head. I've been thinking about you actually all last week.
Yeah.
And when I saw your event that you're having on Halloween,
Yes, I am.
I saw that a couple weeks ago. I'm like, we got to have her on so she can talk about it and then talk about Halloween. And then, of course, I didn't follow through. And oh my God, thank you for being here.
Hold on 1 second. Did you just read this?
No.
Jody said, "Oh my God, Laura, I'm watching The Single Life, and Debbie's boyfriend is licking chocolate off her boobs, and I'm about ready to throw up."
Oh my God, that is
I have
disgusting.
no idea what that means.
I know what it
don't
means,
either.
and
I
it's
don't
not
even
good.
know what
So I thought it would be great to have Natalie come in and talk about Halloween and what is it and how did it come to be and what is it really about?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Halloween, also known as the Witches' New Year, is a traditional Celtic holiday, actually, which name is Samhain. That's how it's pronounced in although it looks like Samhain. So if you've ever seen that. And it is the start of the new year. So it's the last of the fire festivals or the last of the harvest festivals. And it is a time of the year when we get to celebrate the cycles of death and rebirth. So it's the time when we call it the beginning of the dark side of the year, which sounds very ominous and scary.
It does.
Yes. However, it's actually not meant to be dark as in scary, but just the fact that the sun is setting a lot earlier and we have longer nights, shorter days, it's colder. All of the fields have been emptied of their harvest. So it's kind of that wind down time. It's the last big hurrah before we head into the winter time. So that's the idea there. And it is a time when the veil between dimensions is really thin. So it's a lot easier for us to contact our loved ones or our ancestors, people on the other side. There's what it's called like a thin time of the year or a thin place. And there's only so many times of the year that happens. So it's really special when that does happen.
So what should we do to contact our loved ones? How should we do that?
Yeah, so I would say, it's not that hard to contact your loved ones. If you look at a lot of different traditions around the world have utilize this time of the year for that. So like in Mexico, you look at the Dia de los Muertos, and you've got altars that are set up and just beautiful with like marigolds and candles and pictures and things like that. It's not that hard to recreate your own Dia de los Muertos altar. So, which is basically you can find a place in your home that feels really nice to you. In Feng Shui, the east corner of the house is our family area. So if the east corner makes sense for you, then that might be a really good place to set this up. If that's like your bathroom or like some other really like where the dog sleeps, that may not be it. But just anywhere else where you can kind of set up like a little table and maybe put a nice cloth over or a pretty scarf, get some pictures of your loved ones, ones that really evoke like happy memories.
Yeah.
Where they look good, right? Nobody wants to be remembered looking all weird, right? So good pictures and then some candles. And then there's also something that we do. It's a feast for the dead or a dumb supper. It's called a dumb supper, actually, and which is where you cook a meal for your loved one. And just as if they were coming over for dinner, and you leave that plate for them, kind of like leaving cookies for
That's
Santa.
sweet.
Yeah. You leave that out for them as an offering, and you can ask them to come visit you in your dreams, give you messages.
Okay.
You can ask them for signs or symbols, like something from like if you have a particular resonance with, every time I see a butterfly, I know that's my mom or something like that. You can do that. Or you can just do some journaling and just kind of like write a letter to them as if they were still present and here on the earth plane, and just like letting them know what you're up to and what's going on, and that you miss them and that you love them and that you're open to receiving any form of communication that they might have for you.
I love this so much. Now, if I build an altar to my father in this house, my roommate will probably freak out. He sees some altar with candles and like every crazy things, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be super creepy, scary looking with like skulls and bones and feathers, and like it doesn't have to be really witchy. Although, like if you're moochy like me, then you might want to add those elements in there. But for the most part, it's really just a way to bring them into your home and let them know that they are welcomed here, that they are safe here, that you are wanting to make contact with them, that they are always invited.
How long is this period of time? It goes from Halloween to...
Yeah, so we're actually headed into the portal of Samhain right now. Tomorrow is really special. Today's actually really special too. It's a Denali, so it's a holiday that the Hindus celebrate, which is the returning of the light. It's also their new year as well, which is exciting. But tomorrow is the new moon in Scorpio. So Yeah, Scorpio. So Scorpio is really mysterious. It's connected to transformation and death and sexuality and money and power and all these all the like really like juicy things, and secrets and mysteries and the occult. So we're coming into that tomorrow. So really, we are in the portal. The portal gets the strongest usually night of October 30th. And then kind of ends on All Souls Day or All Saints Day, so November 1st. So we've got like, it's like we're in it now, but it gets really strong on, I would say, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday would be your
build
best
that altar right now as soon as possible.
Yes.
I'm so excited to do this. This is so great. I love it. I'm going to talk to a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to journal. Are you going to build an altar in your home?
Well, mine would be in my bathroom.
The east corner. Well, your bathroom's nice.
My bathroom is nice, yeah. So it's very clean, so I could probably do that there.
Yeah, you know, like bathrooms can have spa vibes to them,
That's what
right?
his does.
And relaxation and cleansing. So I could absolutely, and you could also really call in like water element energy, which is like calming and intuitive and sacred. So I could see that happening. Yeah.
As a psychic, do you feel more energized this time of year? Do you feel more powerful or more intuitive or?
Yes, actually, absolutely, 100%. So I'm a Capricorn sun, so which means that my 11th house is in Scorpio. So as we come into this time of the year, 11th house in astrology is very social energy. It's ruled by Aquarius. So it's all about like friends and social activities and connecting with your community. And I swear every year around Scorpio seasons, like around Halloween, end of October and into November, I just get way more energized because I'm around people that I love. There's a lot more events. There's a lot more activities that are more spiritual in nature, which is my favorite thing. Weirdly enough, which is not weird, actually, it's all part of the synchronicities of timing. A lot of people contact me for a lot of things they wouldn't necessarily contact me for the rest of the year. So I get a lot more like witchy gigs, I like to call them. So like I'm doing a house clearing for somebody out in La Jolla tomorrow because they think, or not La Jolla, I'm sorry, Del Mar. No, wait, Coronado. One of those.
fancier party
One of
town.
those fancy like west of the 5.
Beach communities. Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, hold on.
Don't you get scared? Don't you get scared that like there's a spirit in there that is gonna like torment you or something?
So they can't torment me because I'm unwilling to participate in it. And actually, spirits can't torment us unless we let them. So as you go in there courageous and strong, they can absolutely creep you the fuck out. And they will do that. I mean, I've been in many, many haunted houses in many places where their goal is to get a rise out of you because they do feed off of that energy. So that is something, it's kind of like candy for them. You know, it's like, oh, if I scare you, then I get to feed off of your fear, your anxiety, your worries, your doubts, like whatever's coming up for you. So that does kind of power them up. So if you go in there confident and strong and calling upon your angels, guides, and teachers and asking for protection and just really believing that you're going to be okay. And of course, having a few, witchy tricks up your sleeve. Generally you are okay.
So what do you bring?
Yeah. So
What's your tool bag?
yeah, actually, it's so funny. I went to my office today because I had to go refill my tool bag. But I do build an altar. So altars, speaking of altars, if anybody wants to build their own, it's really not that hard to do. So what we always represent in an altar is the 4 directions and the 4 elements. So we start off with the east because that's the dawning, the new day. So in the east, that is the element of air. So in air, we represent that with incense. So you can use Palo Santo, sage, whatever incense you're into. I love Nong Changpa, whatever floats your boat. So you can burn that on there. And actually, we think that the smoke of the incense helps to create messages to the heavens. So it's like a prayer to the heavens and an offering to that. And then if you use white sage or Palo Santo or another kind of smudge stick, that actually, when you burn it, emits negative ions, and that helps to clear the air. So there is a actual physical function to that, as well as the fact that there is a lot of sacred tradition involved in clearing negative energy. So we would use that for the air. Oh, I know. Sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
Yeah. Then moving on to the south direction, that's related to the fire element, and that's really easy. Like, what do you think you put in fire?
Candle.
Exactly. Yes. So we add candles, and you can use whatever kind of candle you like. You just want to make sure that the flame is really strong and doesn't go out. And the idea of the fire is that we are burning away anything that's heavy, dense, and dark. We're adding light back to the darkness. So that's the idea, because darkness cannot live when there is light. So that's the whole bringing in of the light. Then we move into the energies of the west, and the west is the water element. And in the water element, you can have a chalice filled with, like if you get water from a holy place or a sacred stream or well. Like I travel a lot. I'm an initiated Celtic shamanic priestess. So I do a lot of my work over in England and Ireland, and there's a ton of sacred sites there and holy wells. So every time I go, I just collect like a bunch of water and then bring it back with me to make my own holy water. Yeah. So that water is super charged. But honestly, we live right by the beach. So you can just go down to the beach and get some fresh ocean water. And especially if the water is charged up by the moonlight, that's even more exciting and powerful. Yeah. And then you can use that to cleanse the space. So we use that to wash away all the bad vibes. And, water is very purifying. Then we move into the north, and that is the element of earth. And earth element is grounding, it's stabilizing, it's protecting, it's nourishing. So we add crystals to that area.
Oh, crystals.
Yeah. And again, it's whatever crystal that you really vibe with. Some people love rose quartz. That's the crystal for love. This time of the year, though, any of like the black crystals are really good. So like tourmaline or onyx or obsidian, those are really powerful because they're grounding and they're protecting as well.
Okay. My mother and my sister live in a house together, and there's a spirit in there that's tormenting my niece.
Uh-oh.
My niece is kind of a sensitive, so she's the one that gets bothered by this spirit. It turns out from another psychic they went to in Rancho Cucamonga, it's an old boyfriend of my mother's who killed himself after she broke up with him back in high school so many years ago.
Oh, that's sad.
So are they able to do this themselves, or would you not? What do you think?
Yeah, so it really depends. I always say there's no such thing as a friendly ghost. Sorry, Casper. Right?
Right.
So a ghost is inherently not supposed to be here. They are a disincarnated, non-embodied entity that has not gone into the light. So when we call out, when we went and talked to your mom last time, mom is from the light. She gets a hall pass. She can come and go as she pleases. She's always welcome. Your dad, same thing. He's in the light. He's at peace. We know where he's at, he's got good intentions, but what makes somebody a ghost is generally that they died either in a way that was highly traumatic. So something that they were shocked, they were unaware of, they were unanticipating, or in a way that was done with like anger and rage and in that kind of a way. So that would be what could kind of trap people. And then we always say that there's unfinished business. I know that sounds really generic, but that is absolutely the truth. Mm-hmm. So the unfinished business is hardly ever like, oh my God, I didn't get through all my laundry. It's
right.
Something to the effect of like, wow, I never said I was sorry to X, Y, and Z, or I feel like an unworthy piece of shit that I don't get to go to heaven. So I don't want to go to hell because that place scares me. So I'm just like not going to do anything. I'm just going to stay here. So,
have you seen a ghost?
Absolutely. Multiple times. Yes.
Like, what is it? Is it just like you could see through them, or is it like do you see faces? Yeah. Like, what do you see? What have you seen?
Yeah. So it really depends on whatever spirit you are working with. So
you might see one tomorrow.
Yeah, I could see one tomorrow. Absolutely. Okay. Although I don't really. So the more that you do, the work, right? You can have your boundaries. We call them wards, like protective things around you. So I choose not to see them with my eye because I find that to be very uncomfortable, right?
Yeah,
I just don't like it.
But you have.
Yeah, but I definitely have, and sometimes they do break through those barriers and protective mechanisms that we do set up. So they can look like real people, like absolutely look like real people, like where you think like, oh yeah, there's somebody in the and then whoa, there is nobody there. They can look like when you go in there, they can look a little shadowy, depending on, because there's so many different like types of entities. You know, there's dead people, waywards, ghosts. You know, there's I mean, like I could just go on and on about all the different things that are available to us to see. Sometimes they're, like I said, shadowy. Sometimes they're opaque, translucent. Sometimes you don't see them at all, but you feel them. And that's real creepy too.
Or orbs.
Yes.
Talk about orbs.
Yes. So orbs are like little like
Look at
condensed
your
energies.
pictures. Look at all your
Yeah.
old pictures and you will see sometimes little white balls like
Yes.
that are kind of translucent. Those are
Yes.
spirits, right?
Yeah, sometimes yes and sometimes no. Sometimes they are dust,
Right.
So like I hate to be like, I mean, I am a Capricorn, I am practical about things, even though I'm like the witchiest person. So yeah, but sometimes, it's like a really clear evening and your camera lens is clean, there's no smudges on it, and you can really see the orbs. And they can come, like I've taken a lot of pictures of fairies in enchanted forests in England and Ireland, and they do look like flashing lights. So they look
You've
like...
seen fairies?
Yeah, they're really easy to see over there. They're actually not that hard. Like many people have seen them over there. So yeah, you
Where
just have to be
specifically?
open. There's all kinds of different like enchanted forests around there. Like if you go to
my
like
God.
Blarney Castle, like kissing the Blarney Stone, the whole area around there is very sacred
I
and
want
very
to
special.
see a fairy so bad.
Yeah, and it's really not hard. You just kind of have to like just be open and present, and just like a lot of times our rational mind gets in the way. Like we're so
Or logical.
yeah, and we want things to be black and white, and we have all this disbelief, and the disbelief is really a defense mechanism to keep us safe because we're so afraid of seeing things or getting hurt or whatever, things we don't understand. So that really puts a strong barrier on our ability to see things. But if you're open and receptive and you just kind of come in there with like love and you don't have any expectations, you're just there, they will absolutely show up. I got to see a manifestation of the fairy queen Anya in a forest in Northern Ireland while I was there. It was the trippiest thing because I was so my friend was there was a tree that had fallen down and there was a hole in the tree, and so my friend went behind it to put her head in. So I went to take a picture of my friend, and it was actually through the camera that I first saw it, a golden fairy queen. And I was like, no way, like I couldn't even believe it. And so I moved the camera, and there it was, like in broad daylight, and I took a picture of it. And I had the picture for like years, and I would show everybody, and you could absolutely see like the fairy queen. Wow. Yeah. And then I went to, you know what though? I went to post it one day because I was like, oh, I want to evidence fairies are real. Gone.
That was totally on purpose,
such a fairy thing because that's what they're like. Oh, hell no, lady. Like, you're not going to, out us.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's this show on Netflix right now. It's called 28 Days Haunted. Ooh. And they say that, who are the Conjuring people? Lorraine and Warren and her husband. They believe that 28 days is what you need to spend in a haunted house to break the barrier between, dead and living. And so they follow a psychic and somebody who is like the cameraman or whatever into haunted places. Yeah. And now I'm like on the third episode, and they're about 7 or 8 days in, and they're losing their minds because like you said, they're like the mean spirits are tormenting them because they're preying off the fact that they're vulnerable and they're tired. Yeah. And they're like, it's so interesting.
So I would never, ever do 28 days.
No.
Number one. Number two, like so absolutely, we all have everyone has the ability to be intuitive. Like we all have a third eye. We all have a sixth sense. It's just there. It's just really about, some of us are born with it a little bit stronger than others, but everybody can develop it with time and practice. Like I truly believe that. So I do believe that anybody can help guide spirits. However, so you could do it yourself. Like you could set up your altar, you could say your prayers, you can call upon
God, I'd be
Archangel
scared
Michael.
shitless.
You could do all the things, but there are certain spirits that are very, very resistant and that absolutely have an agenda. And are not going to go. So you do have to call on the big guns. And that's where people like me who are highly trained come in.
I mean, I don't know if this is appropriate
Yeah.
and you don't have to say, but how much do you charge for something like that, for a house cleansing?
Yeah. So it depends on the house and it depends on how severe the issue is. But generally, if we're just like, I just cleared actually a business over here too on Fifth Avenue. Yeah, B Med Spa. So
I love B Med Spa.
They're awesome. The owners are so cool. Mark and his wife. Yeah.
They have a
they're-
ghost in there?
So they didn't have a ghost.